Hi, thanks for watching. Today we're going to taste the Makabari Second Flush Darjeeling. I think Darjeelings are beautiful. You see the different colorations between the more light brown, the dark brown, and the green. This is due to given a hard wither. Basically, when they pluck those leaves, they're left to dry a little bit longer than usual before they're rolled into becoming a black tea. This kind of prevents them from over-rolling it too much without breaking the tea. It's usually rolled a little more gently than most teas. Some people would argue it should be an oolong. I've heard arguments that it should be considered a white tea too, although in my opinion, rolling it all would negate that. Darjeeling is a specific region in India. Much like champagne, to be a Darjeeling, it needs to be from the Darjeeling region. Even if it's from across the valley in Nepal, it is no longer a Darjeeling. There are unique factors to the climate and the soil. Also qualities from how long the plants have had to be naturalized there in the Darjeeling region that lead to the wonderful tastes and aromas you get from Darjeeling. They're often referred to as the champagne of teas, and that has nothing to do with the similarity of region like we just talked about. Just a fact that these tastes are quite delicate, balanced, unique, and exquisite, really only found in this area, although some from Nepal can be quite similar. Second flush is referring to the second cultivation plucking of the year. So first flush is the young spring, second flush is a little later. There's also, you might see a monsoon or autumn harvest as well, although they're less common than the first or second flush. Taste-wise, it very much comes off pretty woodsy at first, but as it sits on the palate, there's a sweetness that sort of develops. The air becomes especially sweet after I sip these teas. It's really quite a nice experience, and it's pretty dynamic the way the flavor tones change as it sits on the palate and as you continue to sip the tea. I'm a purist with these, where I very much like adding some sugar and milk on occasion to some black teas. I feel like Darjeeling, it takes away from the subtleties that you're going to find in them, and one I very much like to enjoy in its purest forms. Brewing wise, I use the classic ratio of 1 teaspoon for every 8 ounces. Having a 20-ounce pot here, I usually use about 2.5 teaspoons for it. I like a slightly cooler water. I use about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and just for about a minute, 15 seconds, a minute, 20 seconds, I find is my sweet spot, although it can go about a minute and a half before you start getting that emergence of astringency, which some people like. If you enjoy it, go for it. Cheers.